Long ago, in a small fishing village by the great river, there lived a young man named Kofi. He was quiet, kind, and strong. Every morning before sunrise, he pushed his canoe into the water and cast his net. The river was his home. But one morning, after a heavy rain, Kofi saw something strange. Sitting on a rock near the riverbank was a woman, alone, dripping wet, her white cloth clinging to her skin. She had long black hair that shone like oil, and eyes that were calm but deep, like the river itself. Kofi asked, "Are you hurt?" The woman smiled. "No," she said softly. "I was waiting for you." She told him her name was Martha, and that she had no family. Kofi felt pity for her. He brought her home, gave her dry clothes, and offered her food. But she only smiled and said, "I have already eaten." The people in the village began to whisper. "Be careful, Kofi," the old women said. "A woman who comes from the river is not truly a woman." But Kofi didn't listen. He said love was stronger than fear. He married Martha a week later by the same river where he had found her. After that, strange things began to happen. Martha never ate. When Kofi cooked fish, she would sit beside him but never taste it. At night, she didn't sleep beside him. She sat by the window watching the river, humming softly, a tune that made the crickets go silent. Sometimes Kofi woke up at dawn to find her gone. He would see wet footprints leading to the river, and by sunrise she'd be back, her hair dripping and her eyes glowing faintly in the morning light. Kofi started to grow afraid. He loved her, but something inside him told him she wasn't from this world. One night, when the moon was full, he pretended to sleep and watched her. She stood, slow and silent, and walked out of the hut. He followed, barefoot, his heart shaking inside him. She walked straight to the river. When she reached the water, she didn't stop. She walked into it as if it were air. The water didn't ripple around her. It opened, swallowing her whole. Kofi hid behind a tree, shaking. Then he saw faces rise in the river, pale faces of men, women, even children. They were all looking at Martha. They called her name in low, sad voices. She smiled at them, touched the water, and they sank back down. Kofi stepped forward. "Martha," he called. She turned to him. Her face was no longer soft. Her eyes were black and endless, her smile sharp as broken shells. "You followed me," she said. "You were not supposed to." The water around her began to churn. Kofi fell to his knees, crying. "Who are you?" She looked at him for a long time, then whispered, "I am what feeds the river. And now you will be too." The water rose suddenly, pulling him in. His scream echoed once, then silence. The next morning, the villagers found Kofi's canoe drifting near the shore. Inside were his fishing net and a single white cloth, wet but clean. No one ever saw Martha again. But on nights when the moon is full, people say they hear a woman's voice singing by the river, soft, sad, and lonely. And sometimes when the mist is thick, they see two figures standing by the water, holding hands. The elders say the river never forgets what it takes.